think we just have one more thing before we end, which is good because we only have a couple minutes before we end. So we're going to leave on time. There's one last handout that we haven't looked at in the papers that you got today, and that's the products and services handout. It's got some arrows and a circle. Looks like this. So, we already gave you a couple of pieces of homework. What was your first piece of homework? Does anybody remember?
Binder.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, everybody's going to find a 3-ring binder and bring it in, right? So our papers stay organized. Great. And what was the second piece of homework we had?
Read the rest of the list of all the things.
There's that checklist. That's true. I did give you that. I guess that's great. Get bummed out. Yeah, we want to hear your mission, vision, values next time. So next time, be prepared to tell us something or tell us whatever you have available. And if you haven't worked out everything about it, maybe just tell us what's holding you up or what's the obstacle in your way. And then I want one more thing from you guys for next time. Everybody coming back next time, by the way? Great. Yes. Great. I think we're off to a really good start here, and I'm really excited about all of your groups. So I'm glad you're coming back. I would like for you guys to write down some stuff about your product and your customer. And this is another thing that might seem kind of deceptively simple, but once you really start getting into this, you'll see that it really helps you focus your business. A lot of people, when they go into business, they want to do like 10 different things at once. But this is going to help you focus on what's exactly the thing that you're providing to people. And I want you to get good at doing the first thing before you branch out into doing other stuff, right? So it's important to do one thing well, figure out how to make money at it before adding more stuff. You can add more stuff later. So these questions are, define your product, one product at a time. Are you selling an object, a service? What is it that you're actually providing for people? And then who needs this question? So we're going to go around in a circle, right? If you start at the top, you start with your product. And then you say, who needs this product, right? Like you start with a product, you've made this thing, now you're like, okay, who needs this thing that I made? Or who needs the service that I'm providing, right? And then you start thinking about your customer. So who is your customer? Describe your customer. Is your customer a person or a business? Meaning, is your customer an end user or an intermediate user? Will they turn what you're selling them into something else and sell it to someone else, or are they the one who's going to actually use the thing? What else can you say about your customer? What is important to them? I'd like you to say everything that you know about your customer, and also write some things down that you don't know about your customer that you need to find out, okay? If you come in and just say this verbally, that's also good enough. I'm not going to grade your papers. But yeah, I'd like you to come in and be able to talk about this stuff. And then once you have your customer in mind, then go back around the loop and say, who is this customer that we're trying to serve? And what do they need? And how are we serving a need for them? And hopefully that gets you back to your product. If it doesn't, there's a disconnect somewhere. And we need to think about this a little bit more. Sometimes you go through this loop a whole bunch of times, right? Because you have an idea for a product and you have an idea for a customer, but it might be that your customer isn't crazy about your product or they need something else, you know? Or it might be that the customer that you're trying to serve just needs something different than what you thought that they needed. So this is just an exercise to get you thinking along those lines. So, binder. What's the second thing? Read all the stuff that's going to freak you out.
Mission,
vision, values.
Products and services.
Do you want to say anything about the mentors and all that?
Asa has that and a quick evaluation.
Okay. So thanks everybody for staying awake and paying attention and participating. It's really great. So let's do the evaluation. Okay.
So basically the mentors are experts in the field of startups or cooperatives. that can guide you through this process of starting your own cooperative. So right now we're still in the process of lining up the mentors and matching them up to the specific co-ops. But I think if you have any specific ideas about what you would want to get out of the mentor, this is somebody that you're going to be scheduled to have several meetups with, maybe over the course of the Co-op Academy, and then, but mostly after the Cooperative Academy, they're scheduled to have a call or meet up with you monthly for about 6 months to sort of check in on where you're at and offer advice, and maybe set you up with connections and resources that you might not otherwise have access to, and to spot problems or new avenues for opportunities for development because you might not see yourself. So if you have any special, well, I think we should talk about, come up to us afterward, but if you have any special asks around that, then we're going to be setting those up over the course of this next week. We also want to do a quick evaluation. Can somebody take notes? Just real quick, just 3 things that we liked about today. Something that we learned today from somebody.
Do we have something to write on, or just speak it?
No, we speak it and we can write it.
Yeah. Did anybody learn anything today?
Got
What about party
clarification
buses?
on the difference
What about party
between
buses?
Never knew there was such a thing.
vision and mission.
Sorry guys, come on, you can do better than
I
that.
learned about all the things I have to learn about in order to start
That's a good one. So like, you know how much we don't know? Sorry, what's
Yeah, I
that?
learned about the bad things about having a business.
Like what can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Learned about some of the dangers. One more thing.
The process of really getting the fundamentals to start a cooperative.
Groundwork.
Learning the 3 different types of co-ops.
That's really important, like in the hybrid.
And what Judy said, just that the difference between vision and mission, and that there's a broader world scope and vision.
Is there anything that people think we could have done better, that we can improve on for next time, something we could have covered in more detail?
A way to see everyone. Just,
We're just kind of awkward.
So maybe like getting rid of these tables next time,
Yeah.
and maybe having more chairs,
Maybe being more of a full circle.
more of a full circle
Well, we still need the white.
presentation, but as much as we can. Okay, that's a good one.
More green,
More,
green.
more green foods.
Yeah.
That's always a good one. I'll vouch for that.
I liked how we did like the sample party bus thing. I think if we did more, maybe as we start to become more versed in co-op,
Yeah.
maybe we can start to like maybe do some sort of case study as a group and start up a co-op.
Learning more about specific co-ops.
Yeah, not actually start one up, but theoretically start one up.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next week.
Oh, there you go. So that.
We're gonna keep the party.
One moment.
About having time to work in a small group was helpful, and the next time, I think maybe even doing that more than once over the course of the 3 hours.
More
Just to
time in
process
groups.
sort of what we're learning as we go.
Yeah.
Continuing what he said, like looking at today's the different co-ops that have already begun, and see what decisions did they make, the results. Okay, they had this problem. What did they do, and what was their result? And compare what we would have done in that situation. Just as
Nice.
I just wanted to flag something as a comment, but I know that our co-op and maybe other co-ops in the room are going to be like rotating members who come, and I'm just curious to hear about how we can make continuity easier, and like
Yeah,
what
definitely.
strategies other co-ops are using to bring this back to your other members, and like do like pitchbacks or how we're doing homework together, like that kind of thing.
So maybe incorporating those discussions in it as much as possible.
Yeah, and I guess accounting for there might be differences of
Right.
like next week there might be people who aren't sitting here, to know all the foundations. So how can we bridge that?
Copy our stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's definitely information sharing. Well, thanks everybody for coming to the first ever Co-op Academy Worcester. Next Wednesday, same time, same place, 5:30.
Yeah. Is there a way we can help clean up?
Yeah.